To get started, let's find a comfortable position. I'm going to lay back over my bolster. I could also use a bed pillow. Couch cushions work really well here if you don't actually have a bolster. My hips are on the mat. My spine is being supported. My head is being supported. It's very important that your neck and your head are supported here. You can open your arms out like a T. You can extend your legs long. I'm in broken bridge where my feet are wide and my knees are just comfortably falling in. So we're just going to start in this comfortable position and start to take some nice deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Today is going to all be in through the nose and out through the mouth. And we're going to employ two different kinds of breathing. When we work with our fascia, which will be the portion of the class where we're using our foam roller and our therapy balls and doing our resistance stretching, we will breathe an equal inhale to an equal exhale. And then when we get to the long holds at the end of class, we will go to an exhale that is twice the length of the inhale. So this whole time that we're doing this stretching to increase our flexibility, we really want to support and use our breathing techniques so that we get the most out of our exercises so that we can make lasting and long-term changes to our flexibility, right? If we're in a hyper-toned, hyper-fast breathing, working really hard, we're doing exactly the opposite. So we're just going to try to check all that at the door right now. Let's take some nice deep breaths. In and out. Maybe you're a 3 count in and a 3 count out. Maybe you're a 4 in and a 4 out. It's different for everybody. We're going to focus on our upper shoulders, upper back, shoulders, and neck specifically, and then we're going to go to lower body. Last week's class was hips and shoulders. So we're going to do a little less on the shoulders today. We're really not going to focus on the hips, although the lower body will translate into the hips. But we're going to work hamstrings, calves, and that sort of thing. So let's try both types of breathing. Let's inhale through the nose. And a nice open mouth exhale. Find your breath count. Match your inhale to your exhale. Now let's double the length of our exhale. So let's take a really nice big deep. You're going to have to expand through the belly. Expand through your ribs, let your collarbones expand. For your inhale, maybe it's a 3, and then you're going to slowly exhale for 6. So give me a couple more. Practicing lengthening your exhale to be about twice the length of your inhale. These are going to be for our static holds. Our minimum 2-3 minute holds that we'll do at the end of the session, kind of like yin, just like yin, but we're going to be very supported so that we can be as comfortable into our position as possible. Couple more rounds, either equal or doubling your exhale. And then bend your knees. Bring your feet flat, roll your knees over to one side, and let's press our bolster off to the side so that it's within range, so that you can grab it if you need it. And let's get our foam roller and put the foam roller at the base, underneath the back of our neck. Knees are bent, feet are flat. So I'm looking right straight over my knees. I'm going to maybe hold on to the foam roller with the sides of my hands, with my hands on the edges of my roller. I have a short Manduka roller, which I love. And I'm just going to slowly rock my head from side to side. We're going to start working the superficial fascia, the fascia that's just underneath the skin. We want to work the fascia and the connective tissue to hydrate it and find any spots that are dehydrated or have stuck tissue or scar tissue, and we want to encourage that tissue to open up and kind of melt and get back to a comfortable and slidey, glidey sort of position and composition. All right, I've got kind of a knob at the base of my skull on the right side, so I'm going to hang out over here, and I'm going to make some little circles with my chin and some circles with my nose, and I'm going to go real slow. And I'm going to concentrate on my breathing. Maybe you do chin up, chin down. Maybe you do a little wiggle from left to right. So what we're doing when we work with the foam roller and the therapy balls is we're going to be sensation detectives. We're looking for anything that feels uncomfortable or any kind of a referral, right? So right now I'm at the base of my skull. I have my chin kind of low, and I'm finding a spot that kind of goes into my top of my shoulder on the right side, which is not necessarily a good thing. And so I'm going to work here, and I'm going to back off a little bit. We want to make sure we're not in any pain where we can't maintain this breath count, right? We want to maintain the breath count and control the level of pain. So we want to back off, be nice and easy, and just try to get into this tissue and imagine if we're pressing on the tissue, the connective tissue that's like a spider web, it's opening up. And so fresh oxygenated blood can get in there, and we can kind of flush out any toxins or anything that's in there that's giving us an uncomfortable feeling. Okay, roll over to your right side so that your foam roller is supporting you're lying on your foam roller. It should feel kind of uncomfortable, like your ear is on the roller. That's good, you're doing it right. We're gonna roll the base of our jaw here, kind of where the jaw meets the skull right underneath the ear. We're gonna go up to the cheekbone, and then we're gonna go up towards our temple. So this is all gonna translate to trying to get on the base of your jaw, and while you make little circles. You're just looking straight down your roller, like you're looking down the barrel of a gun. Make some circles in one direction. We're going to go through this pretty quickly. We're going to make circles in another direction, and then you're going to open and close your jaw. Hello, Yoda. I thought I locked her out. And then you're going to go up to your cheekbone, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to slowly make some circles in one direction, and slowly make some circles in another direction. If you're a jaw clencher while you're asleep, or if you're stressed and you clench your jaw throughout the day, you're going to find some sticky spots here, and you're going to open and close your jaw. I really feel it in there. And I want you to move the roller around so we're not looking up to the sky. Our chin isn't down. Our chin is level with this roller. Open and close your jaw a few times, and then go up to your temple and do the same thing. So it's kind of the back part of the temple where the temple meets the hairline. You can kind of roll up and roll down. You can make some circles. I'm going to lock you out really soon. Okay, and then just go down to the cheekbone. Give it a couple passes. See if anything's been flushed out of there. We want to encourage it out so it can drain through the lymphatic system. Get back down to the jaw, where the jaw kind of meets right underneath the ear. Give that one a couple passes, and we're going to change to the other side. So I'm going to regale you with why we're working on our fascia, okay? Actually, take a moment and just kind of feel the right side of your head versus the left side of your head. If you looked in the mirror, you might actually see that your eyebrow is higher on this side. Your cheekbone feels higher. I feel like everything is kind of lifted. This is Sue Hitzman's method. She calls this the 5-minute or 10-minute facelift, something like that. So now I'm going over to the left side. I'm meeting that point where the jawbone reaches right there underneath the ear. This side feels so much better for me. I barely feel anything. I'm making some circles in one direction. I'm breathing. Open and close your jaw. And I'm going to go up to the cheekbone. And I'm going to do the same thing. I think I chew on the right because my right side was feeling a lot different. So all of this translates to tight neck tightness, neck pain, headaches. And then that goes down the chain. Tight neck, tight shoulders, tight back, tight hips, tightness in your legs. Go up to your temple, cruise around your temple, making circles in both directions and breathing. And then go back down the chain. because what we're doing is when we press on this connective tissue, we're hoping to get anything that's in there to be released that isn't supposed to be, that maybe got trapped due to some kind of a trauma, which would be overused, or maybe you fell skiing and your helmet jabbed into the side of your head. Well, the body lays down, go all the way down. The body lays down connective tissue whenever there's perceived trauma. All right, come to a seated position. Any comfortable position. You can pop yourself up on your block. You can sit on your roller. We're just going to do some neck stretches. You can sit on your bolster. You can sit cross-legged, whatever's comfortable. Sometimes a seated position is the most uncomfortable way people are the most uncomfortable in a seated position. We want our posture to be pretty straight here, so I want you to tuck your chin and pull back so that your ears are over your shoulders and your shoulders are over your hips, right? And now we're just going to stretch out the side of the neck. So we're going to take a nice deep breath, and we're trying to gain some mobility here by working the fascia that's right underneath the skin, right? So we're going to take a nice deep breath. We'll do the right side first. There's my inhale. I'm going to let my chest rise on my inhale, and then on my exhale, I'm going to bring my right ear down towards my right shoulder. Notice I did not move my nose. I didn't put my nose down. And now I'm going to bring my chin towards my armpit and feel the stretch down the left side of my neck here. And then I'm going to come back up, and I'm going to start over. I'll stay on, let's alternate sides. Inhale so that your chest lifts and your collarbone lifts. And then I'm going to I'm thinking left ear searches for the left shoulder. I'm not lifting my left shoulder up. I'm rotating my chin down, chin towards the armpit, chin towards the armpit. You can even take this right arm and bring it down and sweep it slightly back. And then come back up. Goodbye. Thank you for visiting, but you're really noisy. Okay. So with your breath, let's just go side to side. We'll do one more on each side. Nice big inhale and lifting through your chest. So normally we would want to do a nice big diaphragmatic breath, right? But we want to actually lift our chest here and start to wind up this fascia. As my ear goes down towards the shoulder, my chin goes down towards the armpit. Try and get your ear closer to your shoulder as you exhale. Come back up. Nice big inhale. Pull your chin back. We want to have perfect posture here. We don't want to have that forward head posture, right? You're not going to get there any faster by pushing your chin forward. That's what I like to tell people when I see them crossing the street and I'm at a red light. Right? Chin to the armpit. There's your exhale. Good. And release. Just sit here for a second. Just sit here, rest your hands, palms face up. Close your eyes, and I want you to feel if you just have like more energy going through, like I have like little fireworks behind my eyes, my ears feel like they're more open. We're just opening up all these channels, right? This is all going to translate to helping our muscles relax. Okay, let's get into resistance stretching. So this is also called fascia flossing. So what we're going to do here is we're going to engage a muscle. On the inhale, I'm going to give you the exact movement to how you're going to engage the muscle that we're the target muscle. And then on the exhale, we're going to lengthen that muscle. And then you're going to let that engagement go, and you're going to go back to the starting position. I don't want you to engage the muscle with the lengthening and the shortening of that muscle. Okay, this is strength training and this is flexibility training. We're focusing on the structural fascia. That's the deepest line of fascia that's close to the bone, that is directly related to the overall flexibility of your and health and wellness of your actual muscle, right? That's why I love this so much. Okay, so let's start in child's pose. Let's kind of just going to quickly work our way through the body, but we'll spend more time on the areas that we are focusing on today. So my knees are wide and my big toes are touching. And I'm going to just start in child's pose and bring my forehead down to the mat. And notice how this feels. Take one big breath here. Good. and then rock up and come to a tabletop position and bring your elbows in so that they're underneath your shoulders. Elbow underneath the shoulders. Your forearms are parallel, like the number 11. So I'm going to take my elbows, I'm going to push them down and drag them towards my knees, and I feel the back of my shoulders engage. There's my engagement. My elongation is that I'm going to just keep doing that pull, that resistance, providing that resistance, engaging the muscle, and I'm shifting my hips back towards my heels. Then I'm going to come back up to the starting position. I'm going to push my elbows down, drag them towards my knees. You can round your shoulders forward like cat pose. You can bring your chin to your chest if that feels good. Here's your exhale. Don't forget to breathe. Now bring your arms over to the right so your left elbow is on the mat. You still have created a box with your elbows, with your forearms. Press your elbows down, drag them down. Your left elbow is pushing energetically towards your left knee. And I want you to shift your hips back. Oh, there's the back of that left shoulder. There's the underside of the armpit. I'm going to keep pulling back, and then I'm going to come up. So you guys keep going. I don't want you to be wincing in pain. I'm already warm. This will heat you up. This is a great way to warm up before skiing or tennis or exercising. Go over to the next size. We are bringing heat and blood to this area, right? So we're strengthening and we're lengthening at the same time. I don't want you to be in a lot of pain. I don't want you wincing. Or I always say in class, no scary faces, right? We want to stay calm. We want to move slowly. We want to encourage these muscles and pull back and come back up to your starting position. Drag the right elbow down and to the right and shift your right hip towards your right heel. You can go a little bit further each time. Now come back to your child's pose. Reach your arms forward, bring your forehead to the mat, and notice the difference. Maybe spider crawl your elbows a little bit further away. And exhale through your armpits. And notice the opening in your shoulders. All right. I love that one. Okay, we're going to do, let's do one more on the shoulders. So bring your forearms, together, right? So that your palms are facing up, your elbows are together, your forearms are down, your hands are spread wide. My knees are now over my hips. I'm going to push my elbows down and pull them to the outer edges of the mat. I can actually see about an inch of mat here. Now I'm going to keep my fingertips on the mat, and I'm going to roll over and try and bring my right ear towards the mat, and then I'm going to stop all that and come up to my starting position, okay? So let's engage the back of the shoulders. Push from the back of the wrist to the elbow down, drag them to the outer edges of the mat. You should feel your upper back muscles. Now pull your ribs up towards the sky so you have a nice rounded upper back. And on your exhale, dive down to the left and see if you can get your left ear, your left temple closer to the mat, and do it again. So nice and easy. Just go as far as you can without really pushing it. One side is probably going to feel different than the other. And don't forget to stop with your engagement and come back up and reset before you go to the other side. And that's about all we're going to do. For this part of the shoulders. Okay, we're going to go back to grab one therapy ball. I want to hit the front of the shoulder because this was always super popular in class. And we all have a tendency to have our shoulders rolling forward because we're working forward, we're driving, we're typing, we're texting. So we want to do whatever we can to open up the anterior, the front part of our body. So you're going to need one therapy ball, and a block is optional. I'm going to kind of turn sideways here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this ball, I'll go without a block first. I'm going to be on my belly. And I'm going to put this ball on the front of my shoulder, and I'm going to roll kind of out towards my bicep and in towards my pec. Your option here is to put your ball on a block, You can kind of come in towards the armpit, and let's talk about working with these therapy balls and with the foam roller. We never roll on our joints, like your elbow joint or your knee joint or your ankle joint. You really don't want to roll on top of a bone, but it feels kind of good to roll along the edges of the bone where there's a lot of attachments there. We can get a lot of bang for our buck there. So you can pin and drape, you can just kind of hang on this. You can make a fist with your left hand and kind of rest your forehead down. The other thing that you can do is extend your arm out to the side, and you can go thumb up, thumb down. That puts the shoulder into internal and external rotation, and kind of cruise around with the ball. Don't forget to breathe. Oh, I really feel this. I'm having some issues with my right shoulder. I don't know what it is. Now I've got my thumb down, and I'm just going to do a little sweep forward, and I'm going to do a little sweep back. Nice big breath. Ooh, I just found a real sticky spot. And on my sticky spot, I'm going to back off a little bit. So I'm going to use my fingertips to control how much weight I'm putting on here. Because remember, I don't want to be in pain. If you foam roll or use your therapy balls so that you are in pain, guess what happens? Your body actually lays down fibers, connective tissue fibers. All right, cruise around in front of that shoulder. Get out by the bicep. So you can hang on it and not move at all. We call that pin and drape. You can hang on it and not roll around, but move the limb through its ranges of motion, or you can roll. What we're trying to do is we're trying to cross fiber roll that tissue so that we can get it to open up and give a chance for fresh oxygenated blood to get in there. Basically, think about you being the oil can for the Tin Man. That's exactly what we're doing. Let's go to the other side and see how my left side feels. Your left side's going to feel a lot different than your right side. So we're doing the front of the shoulder. And this all translates to neck tightness too, right? You can do this with your foam roller. It's a lot less invasive. It's a lot easier to kind of handle. Yeah, I don't really feel that much in here. So our connective tissue, our fascia, is superficially right underneath the skin. It goes all the way down through our muscles. It's entwined in every ligament, tendon, bone, everything. And it is sending 10 times more signals to the brain than our muscle fibers are. So when we go to stretch, and we say, okay, I'm going to stretch my hamstring, and you get to a point where you say, oh, I can't stretch any further, I have to stop here. You have to wonder, you're feeling a sensation. My arm is out to the side, I'm going to go thumb up, thumb down. And I'm kind of pushing the front of the shoulder into the ball because I can. My other one was a lot more painful. And I'm going to sweep. So you have to figure who's sending signals to the brain to say, oh, this is uncomfortable, perception of pain, perception of pain. It's probably the connective tissue. That's why a lot of people don't make long-term lasting changes in their flexibility because they stretch and stretch and stretch all the time and every day. And if you're not working your connective tissue and you're not stretching properly, based on the mechanics and the science of flexibility, then as soon as you walk up and stand up and walk away 10 minutes later, you've reverted right back to the point of flexibility that you were before you did those stretches. Okay, so let's go down to the lower body. Let's stay with our props here. Let's grab our foam roller and let's work hamstrings and I'm going to give you a couple different options here. Hamstrings and calves. Okay, and we're going to work the sides of the lower body too. So I have my left foot on the mat. I have my hips lifted, and our hamstrings run north and south, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to wiggle my butt east and west, and I'm going to try and cross fiber in that area to see if I can kind of open that up, and I'm kind of sweeping my hips forward and back. It's kind of like I forget what this is called in Pilates. The other thing that you can do is you can take your little pouch that your balls hopefully came in. If you got the yoga the tune-up balls they did. Or you can take your dual ball, which I'm going to link because I forgot to link this guy. I absolutely love him. And you can put this dual ball or your double balls, and you can kind of flank that hamstring and kind of cruise around. You're going to feel a lot more. Yeah, Kim, you're going to feel a lot more if you hop on the dual ball, or you put those two balls in the little thing. And I'm using this dual ball. I'm going to get up kind of close to this hamstring attachment that's kind of up near my glute. Oh, okay. And I'm going to dial my toes into the left. And I'm just kind of leaning forward and I'm leaning back. You'll notice if you're leaning way back, it's going to be very different than if your weight is forward, right? And I'm going to kind of scoot over and get the outer tissue of the outer tissue of the hamstring, kind of the space between the hamstring and the IT band, and I'm kind of wiggling there. You want to stay off your knee. Do not roll the back of your knee. It's very vascular. You don't want to be back there. So we're just going to cruise around in here. We're looking for any sticky spots. You can flex and extend your right ankle. You can kind of push on the gas pedal and then release and lean forward and kind of see if you can get this muscle to move a little bit while it's, while we're doing this self-myofascial release. Okay, now I'm going to go over to the other side. So again, if you're on your foam roller, which is perfectly fine, it's just less intense. You can cross one ankle over the other, and you can roll the length of the muscle fibers by pulling your hips forward and back, or you can kind of do a little scoop with your butt from side to side. Oh, I definitely feel something on this side. Okay. I'm a little bit lower on my hamstring. It might even be where the bottom of the muscle on my left side. And it doesn't feel great. So I'm going to kind of hang in here. I'm going to make some circles with my ankle. I'm going to do toes in, toes out. I'm going to move the roller just like an inch. And I'm just going to work the fibers and work all the different areas. And we're looking, remember I said we're sensation detectives. We're looking for areas that don't feel great, that need some love, that need some attention. They need that oil can from the Tin Man, right? That's what we're looking for. Okay, then I'm going to go back to my two balls together, either your tune-up balls that are cinched in this little pouch, but I have my dual ball, and I'm going to come right up here, and I'm going to cruise, and this side feels great. I've got right here where I've got my sit bone. I'm going to come forward of that, and I'm going to cruise down my hamstring, and that's feeling good here. Don't forget to breathe. And these are the equal in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feels good. Okay, let's go a little bit lower, and let's get the calves. Okay, I'm going to show a couple different ways that you can do your calves. You can use your foam roller, and you're not going to feel much if you just bend and extend your knee. You probably just aren't. But if you lean forward and you rotate your leg in and out, then you might feel something here. You can also put your left ankle on your right ankle so that you have more weight on here, and you can also lean forward. Remember, if you lean back, you're going to feel a lot less than you lean forward. That's why we move our body into all these different positions. Stay off of the back of your knee. Personally, I like the two balls that I can put on my calf. I feel a lot more with this. I like the dual ball because it's a little bit harder, and I want to get all the way down to my ankle. So I'm down here, and the back of my ankle is straddling this little ball, and I'm going to do little bends and extends. I'm going to make some figure eights. You can also put this up on a block so that you have a little bit more room to work with. I'm going to make some figure eights with my ankle. And then what you want to do is you want to think about finding the back of your calf. You want to find kind of that right edge. You can also put your hand, you can also put this on a block and bring your shin parallel in front of you and kind of roll this way. You're really gonna feel this. Yeah, that's a good one. And you can do the same thing on your foam roller, where I would have a foam roller perpendicular to this ball. And we wanna get in. And going back to the bottom of the ankle, you can get all the way down to your heel, and then come up to the ankle. I got a lot of crunchies in there. I got all this crunchy grizzle in there. That's not good. So it's just unhealthy, dehydrated connective tissue. And how does it get that way? Let's say you are a big bike rider, right? I'm gonna go to the other leg. You guys can do whatever feels good. Let's say your primary cardio is you log tons and tons of miles on your bike. It's flexion, extension, flexion, extension, flexion, extension, right? We really were not built to do the same movement over and over and over again. We can move laterally, we can move diagonally, we can do lots of different things. So, in lots of different planes of movement. So if we get into a position where, did we do the hamstring on the left? I think we did. So I'm gonna go to my calf on the left. If we didn't do the hamstring on the left, tell me. But I think we did. Yeah, we did. Because my left hamstring felt so much better than my right hamstring. Now I'm on my left calf. So anyway, if we run, miles and miles and miles every day, we bike, and that's all we do, then the body at some point is going to start laying down some connective tissue around these joints and around these areas that are considered to be repetitive motion and overuse. And once that starts to happen, there's a chain reaction that happens through our ligaments and our tendons, and it just goes on and on and on. And then we can have muscles or parts of the body that are so tight that it pulls out our bones, and then you have to go to the chiropractor, or your gait is funny, and then all of a sudden your hips hurt, and then your hip hurts, and then your shoulder hurts, and all that sort of stuff. That is perceived trauma. You can also get into a car accident or a ski accident or fall off your bike and actually hit the pavement and have a trauma, right? You actually fall on your hip. That's a trauma. Your body lays down all this connective tissue. It's nature's Band-Aid. Connective tissue and fascia is a good thing, right? It's the scaffolding system that holds us upright. If we didn't have it, we would fold like an octopus. So I'm now on the back of my heel, back of my ankle, and I'm doing my little bend and extend. I could roll my feet and my ankles all day long. And I'm dialing my toes in, and I'm getting this inner part of my ankle too, and that's not feeling great right on this side. So I'm gonna find this spot, and I'm just gonna hang on it, and I'm gonna breathe into it. It's very painful, so I'm gonna back off. I'm gonna lean back a little bit, and I'm gonna direct my breath to this area. And I'm just going to will it to open up. I'm going to give it permission to release. The body doesn't need to have all this connective tissue down here right now. I don't know what's going on, but if it needs to release, if it can, I hope that it will. If it needs to be there, the body will keep it there. It's kind of our support, it's kind of our support system. Okay, so set your balls off to the side, and we're going to go back to, put your ball and your roller off to the side, and we're going to go back to our resistance stretching, our fascia flossing, and we're going to work our lower body. So the first thing we're going to do is, because we just did our hamstrings in the back of our legs so much, we're going to do our pyramid pose. So pyramid pose like in yoga. So you're probably going to want to have 2 yoga blocks. We're standing. I'm going to put my left foot forward, and I'm going to put my right foot back. And ideally, if you're in pyramid pose in yoga, you have straight legs, okay? We're going to work the left foot, the left leg. We're going to work the hamstring on the left side. So what you're going to do is we need an engagement, and then we need an elongation, okay? So I'm going to push, I'll move my block out of the way. I'm going to lift up my toes with my left foot. I'm going to push my left heel down and drag it to the back of my mat. I automatically feel my hamstring, right? And then I'm going to sit back into my right knee. I'm going to bend my knee, and then I'm going to pop back up, and I'm going to start over. That's going to allow me to let go of the engagement. I'm going to drop my right foot down, pick up my left toes, push your left toes down, engage that hamstring, and then shift back, bend the knee, bend the knee, bend the knee, and then come up. Push down, lift the toes, pull your left hip back, and sit back into a chair. Reach your tailbone back. Good, let's go to the other side. You don't have to do a lot of these, okay? All right, lift your right toes. Push your right heel down, drag it to the back of the mat. Ideally, your right leg is straight. You can have a bend if you need to. Sit back, and then pop up. Let all that go. And then put the left foot down, pick up your right toes, push your right heel down, drag it to the back. You should feel your hamstring engage. Now, lengthen this leg by shifting this hamstring, by shifting the right hip back. And you're lowering and you're reaching back. Think about lengthening and shortening that hamstring. Pick up your foot. Come back. Good, and release. Okay, we're gonna do the IT band area. So we're just gonna be kind of stretching the outer part of this leg. So we're gonna come into plank, and you're gonna step your left foot. You might need your blocks here. And remember, your blocks have 3 levels. You have your low level, your medium level, and your high level, right? We just want to be as supportive and comfortable here as we can. This is a hard one to get comfortable in. I'm going to kick my left foot through so that my outer blade of my left foot is on the mat. I'm going to actually come over here a little bit so that my foot is actually on the mat because I don't want my foot to move. I'm going to kick my left foot into the mat, the outer blade of it into the mat, and I'm just going to rock myself back and forth. And you'll notice that my starting position is going to be my shoulders over my, and see if you can get your leg in line with your hip. I'm reaching through my heel, digging down through the pinky edge of that foot, and then I'm rocking back. It's not a big motion. Come back with the shoulders over wrists. Try and straighten the leg with a little micro bend. Then you can kind of play around. You can angle off to one side, and then take a break. That's harsh. I feel that one. I feel that one a lot. Okay, we're going to go to the other side. So you can start kneeling, you can start in plank. It doesn't really make a difference, however you want to get there. I'm going to kick my right leg through. I have to come over here because I don't want my leg to slide. So I'm going to come off to the side of the mat. I don't want my leg to slide. And I want to be right kind of in line with my hip. Now I'm going to karate chop with my wrists underneath my shoulders. I'm going to karate chop my right side of my foot, and I'm in dorsiflexion. I'm reaching through my heel, and I'm reaching my toes to my nose. I'm going to barely be able to move on this side. And then I'm just going to shift my hips back and come back up to and hear the groaning. Let's everybody breathe together into the nose. Out through the mouth. This is the outer part of the hamstring. Keep going. You can't really stretch your IT band. Your IT band is a very thick band of connective tissue. It's supposed to be tight. It's supposed to hurt when you foam roll on it. Don't bother foam rolling it. You can keep going or you can take a break. Don't bother foam rolling it because it's never going to get any better. It's supposed to keep your knee in line with your hip. It's doing its job all the time. So don't worry about foam rolling your IT band. Okay, so now we're going to do the calf. We'll do the calf on the right and then we'll do the calf on the left. So we're going to be back in downward facing dog. You can put your hands on blocks to make it easier, right? The taller our blocks are, the easier this is going to be. Don't worry about how good your downward facing dog is, right? I'm not going to critique your downward facing dog. My left foot is down. You're going to lift your left heel and bring your knees together, and you're going to bring your right heel is just bent, right? So we're going to drive hang on a second, that's not right. Hold on. Oh, that's it. Don't lift your heel. Come to a flat foot. Your hands are on your blocks are out in front. Drive your heel down, and then bend your knee, and shift back, and then come up. So drive your heel down, and then bend your knee. So we're working our calf. So the right leg has nothing to do with it. Your left heel is driving down, and then you're just going to bend and press. Okay, put your right foot down. You're in down dog, right? Bend your left knee, it's called flamingo. Just bring your knees together. And the length of your stance might make a difference here. So let's really come to downward facing dog. So don't let your stance be too close. So drive your right heel down. You can even lift your right toes, and then you're going to bend your right knee, and you're going to get into that calf. So keep pushing with your hands so that your chest comes closer to your quads. So your starting position is your leg is long. Push your heel down, push your foot down, drag it to the bottom of the mat, and then bend your knee. Give me a couple more good ones. It's a hard one. It's hard to get into that. It's hard to get into that calf. Okay. All right. Just come to a seated position. Take a break. Take a sip. Take a sip of your coffee or your electrolytes or whatever you're doing this morning. Take a break. We're going to do one more thing. We're going to do pigeon. And it's not going to be like pigeon that you do in yoga. So grab your blocks and come to all fours. This is my favorite thing to do for flexibility work. This is the stuff that's scientifically proven and shown in research to make lasting changes in flexibility. That's why I'm doing it with you guys. Okay, we're going to do the left side first. You're going to bring your left knee behind your left block, and your right leg, you're going to flex. Your left knee is in front of your left hip, and you're going to flex your left foot. So your toes, you're going to dorsiflex. I want you to sit up tall, right? You need to sit up nice and tall. Okay. So what we're going to do is look over your shoulder, make sure your right foot is pointing straight back. A lot of people sickle that back foot in. That's no bueno. So the engagement is I want you to plug your left knee down. When you plug your left knee down, you should feel your hamstring and the back of your glute on the left side engage. There's the engagement. Now to elongate, we're going to lean forward with a flat back, and we're going to bend our elbows. Tuck your chin, lead with your chest. Keep pushing down with your knee, and then you're going to straighten your arms, let go of that engagement, and you're going to start over again. So, push down with your left knee and drag it down towards the bottom of the mat. You don't have to do this engagement a lot. You just want to do it till you feel the muscle engage, and then I'm tucking my chin, leading with the crown of my head and my chest, and bending my elbows and going down. Here's my exhale, down, 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 down. I'm going to do one more. Push your knee down. Left toes to the knee. Drag it down, elongate. You can take some breaths as you go. Okay, and then just come to a seated position. Extend your legs out in front. You can do a little yogi. You can do a little yogi drum roll here. You can kind of drum roll your calves. Maybe shift your glutes from side to side. And we'll go to the other side. Okay. We're in all fours. Our right knee is in front of the right hip. So we're in a straight line here. I don't want your knee out to the right. I don't want your knee over to the left. Your right knee is right in front of your left hip. It doesn't make a difference where your right foot is. It doesn't have to be shin parallel to the mat like in yoga. Untuck your back toes, look over your left shoulder, make sure your leg is straight, and then bring those blocks underneath your shoulders so you're sitting up nice and tall. You want to square your hips and square your shoulders here. Right toes to the knee. So you're kind of doing a little karate chop with the outer part of this right foot. You're going to feel that. Push your right knee down, drag it to the back of the mat, tuck your chin, bend your elbows, right hip goes straight back. And start up, starting position. You have 2 to go. Push your knee down, drag it back, tuck your chin. Last one, best one. Tuck your chin, ears over shoulders. Push the knee down, drag it to the bottom of the mat. Feel that hamstring, outer glute engage. And release. Okay, let's get comfortable. Let's get into some long holds here. I'm going to give you guys some options, okay? To stretch the front of the shoulder, which I find that pretty much everybody needs to do, we're going to do a twist. And you're going to be on your back. And you're going to bring your knees over to the left. But then I want you to take your foam roller and put it outside your left knee and rest your right knee on it, because I want you to stay over here. And then bring your arms out to the left and come palm to palm, and then pushing down with your knee. We've done this before. Just want you to open up. I have to move. Just want you to open that top shoulder without the hips following you, and find out where you can hang. Now, if you open your hips and your hand is on the mat, then we don't want that. We want your arm to be hovering. So I'll tell you what to do if you need to. You're going to loose the roller and bring the top knee on the mat and hold it down with the left hand. And then you're going to reach that arm out. I don't have a lot of range of motion here. And if it's easy for you only to keep your hips stacked, you can reach your arm kind of up towards the sky, or you can just rest your arm out to the side. And you can take your bolster or your blocks, and you can rest your arm down there so it's not just hanging out there in no man's land. We're going to do 2 minutes on the timer. And this is where you're going to breathe in for 3, and you're going to breathe out for 6. We want to be relaxed. We're working, your right palm is facing up, so whatever position you need to do, you can straighten your left leg, you can do whatever. My hips are twisted to the left. I'm not allowing my hips to open. I'm using a bolster to support my right arm. I think you guys get the picture. You just have to wiggle around until you get into the right position. In for 3. Nice big belly breath. Open up your ribs. Exhale. Relaxed muscles respond better to flexibility training with a long hold. So we engage the muscle in the resistance training, in the resistance movement, right? Resistance stretching. Now we're doing what's called a static stretch. We're going to double whammy here. We're stretching the low back on the right side. You can kick your left leg back behind you and stretch your hip flexor on the left side, kind of like scissoring your legs. We're really trying to focus on opening up to the front of that right shoulder. Mine is pretty pathetic. Because like I said, there's something going on. I don't know what. So when you do this stretch work, the static stretching, these long hold stretches, we want a minimum of 2 minutes and a maximum of 5 minutes in order to get this muscle to relax and expand. All right, come on your back, hug your knees into your chest. We're going to go to the other side. And we want to train these muscles to get comfortable at a more elongated position. We cannot change the length of our muscle. Right? We've got a muscle and then we've got a ligament that, or tendon that kind of is, takes up the space between it and the... All right, so now you're going to hug your knees into your chest and drop them over to the right. You can use that foam roller and bring that top leg over more, or you can just hold it down, hold the knee down with your right hand. You can bring it down to the mat, whatever you want to do. Bring your right arm up, so it's right, your left arm, so it's right up over your shoulder, and then open it out. I want that left arm to be as an extension of the shoulder as much as possible. If this hurts you, you're going to reach your arm down more towards the bottom of the mat. You want more, you're going to reach more up like you're making a Y, right? Like a half a Y. I'm a little bit higher than straight out, and I'm letting my elbow rest on my bolster, and the timer is on. You're going to breathe in. You're going to exhale out. Nice big breaths, double the length of your exhale. Why don't we hold these static stretches for more than 5 minutes? Because we reach a point of diminishing returns. We're making all kinds of gains between the 2 and 3 minute to 5 minute mark, right? But after the 5 minute mark, we're just not, if you were to look at a graph, we're just going to plateau. So you can certainly go longer for 5 minutes, that's fine. But it's not necessary. So this is the front of our shoulder. This is that area that we worked when we hit it with the foam roller and the therapy balls in the beginning, more towards the beginning of class. Love the breathing. That's exactly what I want to hear. But you need to be relaxed. You need to do everything you can to get this muscle to be in a relaxed position. So we don't want any shaking. We don't want any, hard breathing. It should be super fluid and super gooey, and just think about that muscle just relaxing and you getting a little bit more openness with every big, deep exhale. And this breath training is so good for the central nervous system and for your brain. It'll help you sleep, helps you relax, stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest, which we want to be in as much as possible. You're slowly going to release. Hug your knees into your chest. Give your knees a little circle left and right. And then you're going to come to a seated position and we're going to work our hamstrings. So we're going to extend our legs out long. And I'm going to use my bolster, and I'm going to bring it right up to my belly. And if your knees are bent when you go into a forward fold, you're going to feel it more in your low back. If your legs are straight and you hinge forward at your hips, right, maintaining a flat back, it's not that comfortable. Then you're going to feel it more in your hamstrings. So I'm actually going to lose my bolster. So you can use your bolster and put your hands on your bolster. You can use a block or two, and you can put that block In between, if you want to rest your wrists or your forearms, I'm going to start the timer. I want you to take a look at your feet. I want you to reach through your heels and draw your toes to your nose. You should feel your calves engage, right? That's your calf muscle there. I don't want you to be in a whole lot of pain, but I want you to line your toes up so that your pinky toes aren't closer to the wall and your big toes closer to you, okay? I want there to be a straight line there. You can bring your fingertips over top of your toes if you like. I want you to reach forward, find as comfortable as you can possibly be. You have a bowl of water at your pelvis. It's like you're tipping the bowl of water forward by pushing your sit bones down. And you want to try and maintain as flat a back as possible. So maybe your hands are on a block. I'm kind of squeezing my shoulder blades together back and down, just slightly, just to stay engaged, because I want to maintain this flat back. I'm going to reach through my heels because that's what's going to bring this stretch into my hamstrings. You can bring your hands down onto your ankles. You'll find that if you round your spine and you bring your chin towards your chest, it comes out of the hamstrings and it brings it into the low back. If that's where you want to do your stretch right now, by all means, stretch it. Time just goes so fast. Double the length of your exhale. Maybe it's in for 2, out for 4. Maybe it's in for 4, out for 8. Drawing your belly button to your spine helps to lengthen your exhale. You have a little micro bend in your knees and then let everything just relax. Bring one hand to the mat, other hand to the mat. Take your bolster, your block, your roller, whatever prop you used, bring it to the side of the mat. Bring your feet and your heels all the way down to the bottom of the mat. Lower onto one elbow, lower back onto the other elbow, lie all the way onto your back. Little mini Shavasana, palms face up. Close your eyes. Let your toes flop out. Your heels are relaxed. Scan your body from your head to your toes. And just notice the difference. Your breathing returns to normal. No more counted breath. You can release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax your jaw. Just kind of scan from the top to the bottom. And see if you can let anything go. We hydrated fascia. We lengthened muscles with a focus on flexibility. So that's the end of our class today. I want you to stay right where you are. There's no rush.